Look, this is tired, old, non-alignment jargon that I have very little time for, and I really don't want to respond to it. What I do, excuse me, what I do want to draw our viewers' attention to is for all this noble talk of vaccines. Just a few hours earlier in the WTO, the US, the UK, and the EU have vetoed intellectual property rights for developing countries for the vaccine, for the COVID vaccine that they've developed. All right. This is the kind of regular duplicity that we're beginning to see from the Biden administration, and the list is very long. If you just give me 2 minutes. Climate change, remember, Obama was the one that floated this concept of a China-USA G2, and they completely cut us out of that agreement. And when we asked for the same agreement China got, and remember, Biden was vice president then, they said no to India. All right. Chinese expansionism, let's not forget how they've dealt with expansionism in general. They've cut off F-35 supplies to the Emiratis, to the UAE, and they've unlisted the Houthis as terrorist organizations for the Saudis. Again, when Biden was vice president, if you remember Japan's own simmering dispute with China over the Senkaku Islands, the Americans implied that because the Senkakus were disputed, the Mutual Defense Pact would not apply to them. Finally, with rare earths, it's very, very important to understand that to overcome China's, predatory pricing on rare earths. Note, China does not have a monopoly on rare earths. China does, however, have a near monopoly on rare earth production. Why? Because it's priced everybody out of the market. That requires action at the WTO, and we're not seeing any American action on that. Just a few days back, if you recollect, the U.S. Embassy in Delhi put out a tweet basically promoting a noxious anti-government degrade propagandist as well, winning some third-rate award. Now, if you combine all of these together, I would say that, be very, very careful. I don't think the Biden administration is somebody to trust on this. As for this non-aligned jargon, I have absolutely nothing to say. I'm sure we can work out with the Australians and with the Japanese on this. But remember, China is much, much bigger our size. All right? All policy requires carrots and sticks. If you think it's only carrots that's going to bring the rabbit to the table, it isn't. You need to have sticks, and individually, India is not big enough to contain China. You need friends and allies to contain China. The big question mark is the Biden administration, which Biden is personally, through his son, in some ways compromised China.